10 relationship behaviors you should never put up with. Partnerships ought to provide both fulfillment and nourishment. All relationships are affected by this, but romantic ones more so. It should be a given that your spouse will love and take care of you. Sadly, things aren't always like this. We can find ourselves stuck in unsatisfactory relationships, or we might find ourselves with a partner who is doing more harm than good. The following behaviors can provide you insight into what to watch out for, if you're single, in order to prevent heartbreak and pain. Additionally, if you're in a relationship, this can help you understand your partner better and recognize any issues so you can address them. These 10 actions are the absolute worst things to put up with in a relationship. First of all, they lie constantly. All relationships are built on trust, and trust cannot exist without honesty. Yes, occasionally people do tell small white lies. For instance, they might fabricate a justification to avoid fulfilling a social duty, or distort the facts just a little to appease someone. On the other hand, you must decide whether or not it is acceptable when you find out that someone has lied. Those who lie frequently try to avoid taking responsibility for their actions and present a false impression of who they are. Although it can be disheartening to learn that someone isn't who you thought they were, it's best to be fully aware of the situation you're in. Someone who will be honest with you about their own self, both good and bad, is someone you deserve. Number 2, they occasionally ghost you. While ghosting might be unpleasant in the early stages of a relationship, it is totally inappropriate when you are in a committed partnership. Really, there's no excuse for vanishing without a trace. Communication is essential in relationships, and it is rude and unfair to abruptly disappear. At minimum, your partner should inform you if something occurs that requires them to take some alone time. In addition to being immature, ghosting is careless and leaves the target of the behavior hurt and perplexed. When such behavior is accepted, a healthy relationship cannot exist. Number 3, they use emotional coercion against you. Emotional blackmail is another instance of relational immaturity. This occurs when your partner uses your vulnerabilities, secrets, and shortcomings to control you into doing anything they want. This kind of manipulation is harmful and unacceptable, whether it takes the form of threatening to leave you altogether or making you feel bad if you don't do anything for them. Ideally, it would be possible for you to have an open discussion when you sit down together. Even if you may not agree, you should still listen to each other's reasoned reasons and make concessions if you want your relationship to survive. Number 4, they give you a sense of worthlessness. In actuality, this is a kind of mental abuse, and it's usually difficult to recognize. Small things like a harsh remark or a disdainful glance are the first, and things can soon get out of hand. Your spouse may try to convince you that everyone else is superior to you and that you are not deserving of love or respect. By gradually eroding your self-assurance, they increase their level of control over you. Mental abuse can come in many different ways, such as remarks that are disparaging, comparisons to others, and insults. Feeling inadequate in a relationship is not something you should do. Rather, you ought to be encouraging one another to become better versions of yourself. If you're not receiving what you deserve, then that relationship isn't doing you any good. Number 5, they inflict physical harm on you. Words and deeds are two entirely distinct things. All day long, someone can tell you they love you, but those words mean nothing if they are abusing your body. Physical violence is totally intentional, whereas you don't purposely damage people you love. Nothing you say or do will excuse physical violence of any kind. Even if your partner's attempt at justification is genuine, that is, that you started it, it is still your responsibility to allow the situation to settle down. No matter how difficult it may be, you have to gather the bravery to leave if you are being physically abused. Seek assistance from a trustworthy person. 6th, they lies to you. There are certain non-traditional partnerships that permit more than one partner. However, most committed partnerships assume monogamy, unless you and your spouse have had a talk outlining standards about what is and isn't appropriate. This implies that lying is unacceptable. It's possible for an infidelity to trick you into thinking you're being too sensitive or dramatic. They might even advise you to move past yourself. Nonetheless, when it comes to infidelity, it's quite reasonable to feel offended and degraded. It is your responsibility to decide whether to forgive someone who betrays you and expresses sincere regret. However, because this kind of betrayal is always present in the back of your mind, it is frequently difficult to get past. For other folks, cheating actually poses a serious problem. They can't stay faithful no matter how hard they try or how ideal their partner is. Thus, you have to choose when to give up and leave. As they say, there are an abundance of fish in the sea. Keep your standards high. It's normal to anticipate faithfulness from your spouse. 7th, they attempt to manage every aspect of your life. One does not have the authority to control what the other person does just because they are in a relationship. Of course, you will naturally have preferences and ideas about each other while you are in a committed relationship. whether it is regarding your speech patterns, wardrobe, eating habits, or mentality. However, it is harmful to try to control every aspect of someone. The person you're with should respect your freedom to be who you really are. Eighth, they have no faith in you. In a relationship, a small amount of jealousy is perfectly normal and healthy. It is interpreted as a sign of love by some. However, there's a problem if your partner doesn't trust you and accuses you of cheating on them frequently, even though you haven't given them any grounds to do so. This lack of trust is frequently more of a reflection of them than of you. It can be the result of a deep-seated insecurity or an open wound from a past relationship. To allay any doubt, speak with them and be as explicit as you can about your goals. Additionally, it would probably be better if they dealt with their problems independently, if they keep accusing you of doing things that you aren't doing. In actuality, unless they take that step, they will not be able to maintain a healthy relationship. Number 9, they keep you apart from your loved ones. Being cut off from your friends and family is perhaps the worst thing that can happen when you're with a controlling partner, because the other individuals in your life pose a threat to their authority over you. This person will take this action against you. You can discover that your relationships with your loved ones are gradually eroding, and before you realize it, you're alone. An overbearing spouse can have you all to themselves by cutting out your friends and relatives. Thus, avoid letting this occur. Number 10, your success is endangering them. In a happy partnership, you want the best for one another. As a result, you encourage one another to work harder and share in one another's minor and large successes. You should be able to rely on your partner to support and rejoice with you when you achieve amazing things, be it a raise at work or academic success. On the other hand, some people feel threatened by their partner's success and want to be in control of the relationship. They might make an effort to downplay your accomplishments and show you little support when you need it. They might even attempt to undermine you in order to prevent you from surpassing them. However, it's crucial to keep in mind that a happy partnership isn't about winning. You support one another as a friendship and as a partnership. These are but a few indicators of dysfunctional partnerships. And the person who is meant to love you shouldn't have to put up with such actions from you. You are perfectly entitled to end a relationship if it isn't fulfilling you. Rely on your gut feeling and resist the urge to push yourself into circumstances that make you uncomfortable. Being alone yourself is preferable than being trapped in an unpleasant relationship. Make sure anybody you choose to be with has your best interests at heart and treats you the way you deserve to be treated, as the only person you really owe is yourself. Please like and share this video with your friends if you liked it so that we can continue to make more like it. Click the subscribe button and don't forget to click the notification bell for more videos just like this one. Don't forget to watch our other videos as well. Thank you for viewing.